Um, Good day, sir. My name is Romel Ogok, and today I will be reporting another activity. So, here it goes. Based on the 10 surprising facts of Magellan's expedition, what composes majority of Magellan's crew? 500 years ago, Ferdinand Magellan began an historic journey to circumnavigate the globe. Simple, right? Not really. The explorer and his voyage are study in contradiction. Magellan was Portuguese, but sailed on behalf of Spain. He was a formidable captain, but his crew hated him. His expedition was the first to sail around the world, but he didn't end up circling the globe himself. His name wasn't even Magellan. So, Magellan is a captain. Galing lang iyang mga crew members, murag hate siya ba tungod siguro siyang mga plano. Then nonetheless, it's clear that Ferdinand Magellan 1519 expedition changed the world forever. His journey was the greatest sea voyage ever undertaken and the most significant, says historian Lawrence Bergreen, author of Over the Age of World, Magellan's terrifying circumnavigation of the globe. That's not hyperbole. In 1519, Ferdinand Magellan set sail from Spain with 5 ships to find a western route to Moluccas. Battling storm, mutinies, and the unknown Magellan died before reaching his destination. One ship ultimately returned to Spain after circumnavigating the world. At the time, Portugal and Spain were involved in the intense rivalry to see who could find and claim new territory where they could source the spices coveted by European aristocrats. In 1505, Magellan joined the fight, traveling to India, Malaysia, and Indonesia, but his days in service to Portugal were numbered. He was accused of illegal trading and failed out Manuel, who turned his proposal to locate a new spice route. So, Magellan, itong time nga nagbiyahe si Magellan, he accused na akusahan siya ng illegal trading. So, at the time of Magellan, why do Europeans are interested to come of Moluccas and Indonesia? So, Ferdinand Magellan was born in 1480 into a noble Portuguese family. So, kini si Magellan, gipanganak na siya nga Portuguese nang gikan sila pamilya nga Portuguese. His parents died when he was still a boy and he became a court page in Lisbon. In 1505, he enlisted in the fleet of the Portuguese viceroy to the Indies and spent the following years involved a series of Portuguese expedition in India and Africa. In 1511, he was with the fleet that conquered Malacca on the Malay Peninsula, thus gaining control of the most important trade routes in the region. He also explored that island of present-day Indonesia as far east and Moluccas, also known as the Spice Islands. So, ang Moluccas, gitawag yapon na siya kuan kanang Spice Island. Ferdinand Magellan, 1480-1521. In 1512, Magellan returned to Lisbon and the following year he was wounded during the expedition to Morocco, which left him with a permanent limp. After a disagreement with the Portuguese king, in 1517, Magellan went to Spain to try and enlist the Spanish king's support of expedition to reach the Moluccas by sailing westwards. The Spanish wanted to share the valuable spice trade from the Moluccas, but the Portuguese controlled the eastwards route and southern Africa. Magellan was successful and September 1519, set out with a fleet of 5 vessels in spite of the mutinous crew. Rough weather, scurvy, and despite lack of provision and known waters, Magellan managed to cross the Atlantic and navigation through. Now, with only 3 ships, Magellan sailed on the Indo-Pacific with rapidly diminishing supplies, which led to many of the crew dying of starvation and scurvy. After around 14 weeks, they reached an island, probably Guam, the Western Pacific. They then sailed on the Philippines. On 27 April 1521, Magellan was killed there after becoming involved in a battle between 2 rival local chieftains. So, katong time on 27 April 21, Magellan was killed. So namatay siya tong time mga kanang pagtagbo nila sa mga kunta niya. One ship from fleet eventually reached Spain in September 1521, having completed the first ever circumnavigation of the globe. What did Pope Alexander do in the year 1494? So, Pope Alexander, on June 7, 1494, Pope Alexander divided the world in half, bestowing the western portion of Spain and the eastern Portugal. Matters might have turned out differently if the pontiff had not been a Spaniard, Rodrigo de Borja, born near Valencia, but he was Alexander 1431-1503 was pope from 1492 to 1503. So because of this worldly life, he is often considered the most notorious of the Renaissance popes. Handsome and attractive to woman, Borgia was also intelligent, a good public speaker, and popular with the citizens of Rome. So, what is Magellan's idea of going to Indonesia and India? In what way? Magellan was convinced by sailing west instead of east, going through a rumored strait through South Africa. He could map a new route to Indonesia and India. So, abandoned his Portuguese loyalty and headed Spain, where he gained both citizenship and Charles' blessing for 5-ship journey westward. So, Magellan was convinced that was sailing west instead of just going through rumor set to South Africa. So magama siya giyang kagulingong map nga makabiyahe siya through South Africa o sa Indonesia and India. So when his men mountaineered, how did Magellan regain control of his men? How do you describe him as captain? So Magellan is searching for a way to control the native population after leaves of the island. Magellan persuades one of the local chiefs to convert the Christianity. So si Magellan nagpersuade siya ganang usa ka chiefs nga maka-convert sa Christianity. Persuade means murag kuan kanang naghanyo nagpugos. Referred to by Antonio as the Christian king, Magellan hopes to make this chieftain supreme over the remaining local tribes and loyal to King of Spain. To bolster the chief's local supremacy, Magellan decided a show to force particularly the power of his muskets and cannon. So ginagamit nila ilang mga kanyon o muskets. Muskets means kanang sa ilang espada against the neighboring tribe will impress the native into submissions. Born in Portugal, Ferdinand Magellan took part in a number of Portuguese expeditions exploring the conquering the East Indies during the early 1500. By 1517, however, he found himself out of the favor with King Emmanuel and shifted his allegiance to King Charles of the Spain. The Spanish king accepted Magellan's proposal to lead the voyage western to reaches of the Spice Island of present-day Indonesia. Magellan, from a contemporary painting on September 20, 1520, Magellan led a flotilla of 5 ships with a crew of 250 out of the Spanish horde of the Sancar de Barrameda. Their goal was to find a water passage around America and continue to the east in this. This was a true journey into the unknown, equivalent in adventurous risk to the 20th century, leading on the moon contemporary wisdom and the knowledge of what lay beyond the shores of the South Africa, and assume it was a short distance across the Pacific Ocean to Spice Island. The journey was long and arduous, punctuated by starvation, disease, mutiny, and desertion. So Magellan didn't reach his goal. He lost his life while battling natives on the island in the Philippines, reduced to the ships. The remainder of his crew passed on their missions, successfully reaching the Moluccas, the Spice Island, loaded with gloves, clubs. The two ships continued, homeward. Along the way, the Portuguese captured one vessel, reducing original fleet of 5 ships to 1. Finally, on September 6, 1522, almost exactly 3 years after its departure, the Victoria with 19 crew aboard returned to Spain. Ferdinand Magellan is the best known for being an explorer for Portugal and later Spain, who discovered Strait of Magellan while leading the first expedition to successfully circumnavigate the globe. He died en route on Juan Sebastian del Cano completed it. The circumnavigation confirmed that the idea that the world was round rather than flat. Facts about Magellan's. Through Magellan is often created with the first circumnavigation of the globe. He did so on a technicality. He first made a trip from Europe to Spice Island, eastward via Indian Ocean, and later made his famous westward voyage that brought him to the Philippines. In 1519, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan 1480-1521 set sail in search for westward route to the Molucco island of modern Indonesia, which brimmed with nutmeg, cloves, and maize. His trip to this spice island would lead to the first successful round-the-world voyage and return Magellan into larger-than-life figure. Get requited with the world most famous circumnavigator. So si Magellan is murag nakuanan siya ganang world kanang circumnavigator kay siya may puy usa sa mga makahimo og kanang makakuan og makaadto-adto og laing lugar nga pamaagi ra siya ang kuan pamaagi siyang gusto. So that's all. I hope you like my video. So thank you.